Years ago, I had a guitar effects unit. It was a digital unit that lets you use multiple different effects. And one of the things it has was the ability to add an analog compressor sound that was modeled after like a famous optical compressor to your guitar tone. And you could put it before or after the amp sound. And so typically, compressor pedals can be really cool, but some of them are very aggressive. Some of them don't give you a lot of control like a standard like studio compressor does. And so I haven't found that I've used a lot of them in my different pedal boards and rigs over the years. But this, using like a full-on like optical style compressor in my signal chain, was really, really cool. And guess what? With Studio Pro and the Mustang Native and Fat Channel plugins, you can do that right in the box. And you can start to get really creative. So think about it. You've got Mustang Native, which gives you a bunch of pedals and amps. But then you've got all the other tools inside of Studio Pro at your disposal, such as Fat Channel and even the new reverb, the Studio Verb, that can all be a part of your guitar tone. You're not limited to just pedals like you would be using a real amp in a room. You can now the sky's the limit. If you have a favorite plugin that you love to use on other things, try adding it to your guitar. What am I trying to say? To your pedal board, essentially, even though it's not going to be your pedal board. So let me show you how that would work. You got a blank session here in Studio Pro. I'm going to drag Mustang Native, and it's going to just automatically create a track and open up the plugin. I got to make sure the input is correct on this. Can't see my inputs. Let's make it bigger. Okay, input 1 is the correct one. Let's make sure we can hear something. Cool. Got some latency, so let's turn on low latency mode, or what's called direct monitoring mode now. That should be good. Great. Let me turn the volume up. Cool. All right, so now I've got me some guitar tone. So what can I do with it from here? Well, this is the default one that comes with a simple compressor. I don't want that. I definitely want some reverb, and I think I want to swap out. I'm just a sucker lately for the Princeton. So let's go over here. There we go. A little more top end. Cool. And I want a little more reverb too. Give me some more, please. Lovely. And then I would maybe want a tremolo. This is the one I want. Yeah, I like that, and I want that before the reverb. And I want to try out the Studio Verb first as like a reverb on this guitar tone. Now I could use it as a send. I'm going to use it as just a straight up plug-in that's coming after the Mustang Native plug-in. So I'm going to put it right after, and then I'm going to set the mix to like 30%, the low cut up because I don't want it to be muddy. I'm just going to dial in something kind of fun. I'm probably going to turn the modulation up. That modulation is wild. I'm gonna pull that down some. Okay, so what I've noticed is sometimes when I'm playing, I want the compressor to kind of even out the tone of what I'm playing. So like even those more ballad-esque, ethereal kind of I got lost. I forgot I was filming in that reverb. The thing that really helps those notes sustain for me is the way that I play is a little bit of compression on the front end. So what I want to try now is adding our fat channel plugin to the beginning of this chain. So before it ever hits Mustang. So just in case you didn't know, the way plugins work is it's in order from top to bottom. So it goes through this one, before this one, before this one, and you can obviously rearrange the order. But I want to go through a compressor first, and I want to choose the tube compressor. This is the one that I was talking about before, that the digital modeler that I used had this. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm just going to get some compression happening. So the way this works is I turn this up to turn up the compression, and then this is just the volume on the back end. So I want to get some compression happening here, and then adjust the volume so I'm at roughly the same volume as before. So let's try that. Here we go. Here's something that's happening that I was afraid was going to happen. This compressor is looking for a fairly like loud signal, like a microphone signal. Right now, it's getting just the raw guitar, quiet little guitar output. When I crank this all the way up and I play hard, I can actually turn the sound off for a second, and you can see it just visually on the screen. You'll see. That's the most compression I'm able to get, is about 3 or 5, and that's me playing hard. If I play softer, so you may say, okay, just turn up the input. Yeah, but that's going to mess with the guitar tone. I like the tone that I'm getting through this amp. But I want it to have some of that compressed factor. This is something that I discovered in messing with these digital models is, what if I put the compressor at the end of the chain? Typically, not everywhere, but like a typical like plug-in into like a deluxe reverb amp, if you've got a compressor plug-in, it's going on the guitar signal before it goes in. That's all well and good. We've got those built into Mustang Native, but what if we want to put it after? Let's try that. I'm going to have the guitar amp tone first, then go through this compressor, then go through the reverb. So the reverb's getting uncompressed, but everything coming out of the amp is getting compressed, much like we would if we were like, this was like a mixing console. So let's see how it works now. So just compare that to the sound with the just no compressor. I'm going to try to play a similar thing. Listen to how the notes have a bigger variance in volume. And you could say, oh yeah, Joe, just play better. But I want to show you like that this is like doing something different to the sound. Like that's all well and good. That sounds fine, but listen to what happens with the compression. It may sound a little bit louder, but that's not the point. It's the sustain of each individual note that I like so much. Sorry, I just got lost in it again. That is so interesting. It's not like night and day different in terms of like, oh, the guitar would sound terrible without it, of course. But there's just something like the way I could dig in and play those really aggressive chords that made the amp bloom, but then play a quiet note behind it, and they're all kind of coming in at roughly the same volume. We can still hear them all. Let me do the same thing without the reverb or without the compression again. That's it. Did you hear the difference? I played it as close as I could. The big, loud chord that made the amp overdrive, and then the quiet, and without the compression, the quiet part, you almost couldn't hear it at all. But with compression, the loud part still sounds delightful, but then the quieter part now comes through too. And it's not this over-the-top compression because this optical circuit is just kind of beautifully just squishing things. So listen to that again. Watch the meter was being weird there, but you can even hear like even these notes are causing some compression to happen, and then the more compression we have, like this may be my new favorite tone, and you can't really get this even with, I shouldn't say this, but even with like the Tone Master Pro, which I have down here, it has like more tools and stuff like that, but I don't know that it has a compressor quite like this that I can put after the chain before the reverb to give me just a beautiful. I just had a moment. So do yourself a favor. Sorry. Do yourself a favor. If you want to screenshot these settings to go apply it to your thing. It's the Princeton reverb. The gain's at like 5. So it's just starting to break up. It's got some grit if you dig in. The volume's about 6. Treble's up. Middle and bass are down. This guitar itself is really dark. That's why I typically have to boost the treble quite a bit. There's a tremolo on there. There's some spring reverb, but that's not really the star of the show. The star of the show is the studio verb with these settings. You can screenshot this page. I'll zoom in so you can see it. Screenshot that. And then the fat channel in between, which is set like this. And just, I mean, imagine the possibilities. We could switch this out if we want to go more aggressive. Let's just real quickly, let's switch this out without the reverb now. And we'll turn off the tremolo. We'll turn off the spring reverb. Let's just go for something completely different. Let me turn this up. So dry. But let's see. Let's get a little more grit. Just a little more of a breakup on it. Turn the volume down just a smidge here. And then let's go fat channel. This is just coming after the amp. Let's do something here. Ooh, easy. Oh, it makes me think of the anyway. It's almost like I can play with more touch with that. And you pick your favorite compressor and try it and play through it. And the cool thing about this is you can set all this up however you want, play through it however you want, and then after you've recorded your inspired, amazing piece, you can come change all the plugins. You can change the compressor that you used. You can change the order. You can mess around with it. But this, to me, gives such a feeling of just euphoria. I just want to sit and play all day, which I'm going to do right now. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I had a lot of fun with that. I hope it got you inspired to go mess around with this. And guess what? You could apply this same thought process to do this for your electric guitar, but then find a combination of plugins that you love to sing through. And then when you sing, the compressor's going to push back. It's going to promote even a more engaged performance by having some of these things on there. Of course, you can overdo it. I probably wouldn't do this on acoustic guitar because I just want to hear the raw instrument. But if I'm singing something, I want some of that beautiful reverb. I want some of that compression, and none of this gets committed. The raw sound, you know this, the raw sound is just getting recorded. All the plugins are happening afterwards, so we can mess it up as much as we want with these plugins. It's not affecting the sound that gets recorded. And that, my friend, is what makes digital, just everything we do, so glorious. All right, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to watch some of Joey Burcham's videos if you want to see a real guitar player crush it with Mustang Native. He has a multi-part series on this channel you absolutely need to see. He is absolutely a legend and a lovely person. I give my full endorsement as if he needed it. But anyway, there it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.